Basement Dwellers, hosted by your boys Jacob Santoro and Christian Talone.
You're blabbering about unnecessary stuff. Cut it out.
Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button to get all the updates from the channel too.
Tell me what your hand's doing over that button first.
But for now, just loud shout and kick back, cause I got a fresh one right here delivered to your speakers. Lock in.
Alright.
What's up, nerds?
Sup, nerds?
It's episode 88, 2 8s, just like my two 28-inch pythons. I feel so fucking powerful with these fucking pits, dude. Oh, this was the best decision you ever had in your life, Christian. I'm joined by another cool guy with pits, and we're actually joined by yet another cool guy in some pits. Today, we have the pleasure of having on the couch Kelsey from Scaedycast. What's up, Kelsey?
What is up,
God,
man?
long time no see.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, I help out every Thursday. Well, they post on Monday. On Mondays, you can catch Scaedycast, where I am the producer of that show, brought to you by Basement Dwellers Productions.
Daddy producer.
Yes,
thank you.
so much.
Okay.
You know what? I used to get really, because I'm such a shy guy. That nickname always made me feel so. I'm like, oh, stop. But with these, I'm like, yeah, I am.
I'm daddy producer.
I just feel like it's time to step in the ring right now. Like I don't think I've ever felt like, or it's like
let's go.
it's either time to go to the ring or it's time to go to Tahoe. Like there's no.
How about the ring after Tahoe?
That's right.
Or vice versa.
That'd be
guess.
cool.
Yeah, Tahoe to celebrate.
The
after.
slam in Tahoe, that'd be cool.
Ooh,
That sounds kind of.
that sounds like it's something else. But also that's probably the third option.
Yeah.
Actually, it kind of works.
Yeah.
Slam in Tahoe.
I've been having. I don't know. There's something about. I went to. I did a video project for this. For this band that does like covers, like a cover band for like weddings and like and stuff like that. And they were at this bar, and I texted him. I was like, dude, there are so many MILFs here.
Oh fuck
Like,
yeah.
and so now I just got it in my mind. It's like we got to go to Tahoe. That's where MILFs are too, man. It's the White Claws, and you were probably in MILF Mecca. You like we were talking about before. You got to go see Matt Rife, and I'm sure it was just a plenty. Was there an even ratio? Would you say, or was it definitely?
I would say it was a good mix, but probably leaned more young, I would say. But there were definitely some people that were definitely mom and daughter or like aunts, cousins. There was some grandmas in there, I'm sure.
Is generational shared attractiveness weird? Like if you like, it's kind of makes me feel like I'm like if my dad took me to the strip club, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like all like you, your mom, and your grandma are all having the same thought.
Like we all want to bang Matt Rife.
Yeah.
And your dad and your brother. Like everyone just wants to bang Matt Rife. Like it's the whole family. It was a little weird. So me and my little sister went.
Mm-hmm. And
so, I mean, it felt very like bang bros anytime we were talking. Like I was like, oh my God, he's so fucking hot, blah, blah, blah. And, just like in our fantasy world, like, what if he invites us back to the hotel? And then it's like, yeah, like that was never going to happen. That was never going to fucking happen. But like,
No,
then
not the sex here.
nice.
But then it's like, okay, well, my little sister, it's just got it. I was like, okay, that's in this crazy scenario that's literally never going to fucking happen.
Mm-hmm.
It still feels weird.
Yeah.
But so it was a little weird with that. I can't imagine, like, the clip of him getting cookies from a MILF in like Ohio or something
I
like
think
that?
you were telling me about that, Christian.
Yeah. I've seen that where he like gets her daughter on the phone and everything like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
He like literally follows her. It's like this random like mom. Like he like follows her now and like they like follow each other. And it's like imagine like most likely the daughter probably put her mom onto Matt Rife, I would guess, because he got famous on TikTok. Yeah. And then imagine being like, yo, my mom's probably banging Matt Rife. Like, God damn it.
I'd be a little bummed.
pissed.
Yeah.
Oh, I would not be happy.
I was gonna ask you. So, like, if he favored like your sister over you, would you just be upset? Like, would you never let her live it down?
Oh no, I'm gonna be like, Courtney, you do what you need to do.
Oh, that's cool. That's a homie. Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
Like,
Yeah.
and two, I mean, you saw my little sister. She's very, she's like very, just a different type of like beautiful. Like, she's like the very alternative.
Yeah.
Like, she has like the half like white hair, half black, like tattoos, super tall and skinny, like definitely like model. Like, you know what I mean? So I would assume like between the two of us, she's probably got the better chance. So I'm like, girl, if you get the chance, run with it. Just run with it. And then, yeah, I'll just go cry myself to sleep. But, but tell me the stories.
I fumbled the back. Christian, you're up.
Is there someone that you feel that way about?
What do you mean?
Like, is there someone that like a comedian or someone that you would go see that?
If they were like, do you want to come back?
Like, if you could, maybe.
Ellen DeGeneres.
No, there's I forget her name. Beth Sterling is really pretty. I would say I don't know. No, because my whole thing
I don't
there's
know who that is.
Yeah, I'm gonna look her up.
She
Right
must be
now.
ugly.
I don't know, like I don't know. Beth Sterling looks good. What's her name? Eliza or Lisa
Schlesinger?
Yeah, she's all right. Yeah, I mean,
This girl.
yeah.
So you got
Here,
her
no,
name
hold on,
wrong.
I
So
got
you
it,
must
buddy.
not like her that much. Her name is Beth Stelling.
Oh, Stelling. Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Get it right.
No, I honestly think that like to me it feels like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I feel like even in music, like I feel like with music too, like I think I talk about it all the time of just like, oh my god, like you're super hot, but like I think I would just be nervous. Like we've like
A lot of pressure.
he'll send me like TikToks or like whatever back and forth of like Rhea Ripley, who's gorgeous, you know. But like for me, if for some reason,
Learning a lot.
Look her up.
oh hold on, yeah, well here we'll all look at her together. I got on the big
you
screen
got
here,
it?
yeah.
Should've brought
So how do you spell
other
it, Christian?
glasses.
Huh?
How do you spell it? You know.
RHEA.
There we go. Yeah. So she's a professional wrestler, and
Oh
she's
fuck yeah! Peg me, mommy.
yeah, she's
like,
definitely
Let's go.
like yeah. So
I know
she,
exactly who you're talking
she
about.
definitely has like that demeanor of just like, you want to come back to my room? Just nope. Well, we're going. So
I don't think she would even ask you.
no,
honestly.
she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. 0%. But I'm just saying.
Pull you
Like,
by the ear.
just
She's
like-
going to lay your legs over your own shoulders and just fuck you right there. Like you're not even going to any room.
Yeah, like a caveman, she would just club you. Like, but my whole thing is that it's just like I'm too intimidated like to do that. So it's like, no, not really. If anything, it'd be to hang out. Like I think that question, I have 1,000 answers for. Like if it was just like, do you want to come hang out? Of course, you know what I mean. Like that would be really cool. But I also there's some comedians that if they were like, you want to come hang out, I'd be like, no.
Bro, I hope we get big enough to have Rhea Ripley on one day. I want to see how I act in that episode. We'd be like,
So that's the thing is that like I have no problem. Like I could talk to her like and have casual conversation because I like don't get me wrong, like because I go both ways and stuff like that, and like Matt Rife is fucking incredible. You know what I mean? But it's just like for me, it's like even if he was into hodgepodge pudgy dudes,
You never know.
I never know. But it's more so just like I appreciate the offer, but if you just want to go like smoke weed and like kind of go back and forth on some like funny like things, like for sure all day long.
Okay. So rather instead of like being like a one time like hit it and quit it, you'd rather like, oh, okay, let's like be friends or
Yeah.
like let's hang out.
I'd be friends.
Oh,
I have this thing where it's like I've never been in the situation, not even close, but like I always think of who's the celebrity, who's the woman who ended up marrying like the cameraman? She's like a really famous like actress. Is it?
I feel
Married
like that
the
probably happens a
cameraman?
lot.
No, he was like a straight up like it's not J-Lo. I don't remember. No, I swear to God,
you have a computer right
You
in
mean
front
like
of you. Just look it
okay,
up.
well, Britney Spears married a backup dancer and that went terribly.
Was that, what's his face?
Her baby daddy, whatever his name is.
Oh,
You know who I'm talking about?
yes.
K-Fed?
K-Fed.
Yeah, it's
Kevin
just a
Federline.
piece of shit. It's just
Yeah.
horrible. But I feel like I
think
think there's a lot of people that like famous people that marry like normal people.
Yeah,
Or, like,
so
a high
like
school
I got
sweetheart.
like okay, so I don't remember her name, but I think Matt Damon was one of those people. And like I think my whole thing with that is I have this no matter we could be just in love and married for like 20 years and never have a bad thing, but I feel like there would always be a part of me, Kelsey, that one day I'm going to forget to do the dishes. And you're gonna be like,
you're done.
And you're gonna be like, do you know how fucking famous I am? And I decided to stay with
fucking retard?
like, so I always have that creepy suspicion. So like,
But
and
that also happens a lot too. Like
my goal is just to be on that dating site for famous people.
oh, Raya.
Raya, you're
Okay,
familiar
you
with that,
need
Christian?
an invite only. It's invite only.
Invite only. It's like Tinder for
What?
celebrities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
You wait, so it's like Tinder, but
For celebrities.
so
Yeah.
a celebrity has to like invite you, or you have to be a celebrity.
You have to get like a link. I'm sure you probably could get invited. Like, so say if you got like famous enough, you're gonna get invited. But you're probably running in those social circles anyways. That you're gonna get that. But speaking of J-Lo, Ben Affleck, like a year ago or something like that, this girl came out with like all his receipts of like him being like a super simp over her.
Nice.
And I was like, bitch, you dropped the bag so hard. Like, why? Like, I think she like did all this even before they like hooked up or like met up. And I was like, why would you do this to yourself? And then also, if you're on Raya, like, okay, now no other celebrity is gonna fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? And she was like, I think like if you're an influencer, like you can get an invite or whatever if you're like on a certain level.
So help us settle another debate here that I know we've definitely talked about on the show before. You okay, buddy? Need some help?
Yeah, what's going on?
It was going fine until you addressed it. I was silently struggling. But
I'm
I got
sorry.
it.
I'm
Wow.
sorry. I'm sorry.
We just called you out real
Basement Dweller
hard.
Productions. We don't cut anything out.
Yeah, we don't cut that shit. So help us settle a debate here. Like, okay, we look at Leonardo DiCaprio. Slings dick all day long between what is it? Like 19? Was it 23? Is it 23 or 24?
25 is the cap.
25 is the cap. Like your
my
25th
understanding.
birthday is get the fuck out of my house, right? Do you
Unfortunately.
think that a lot of celebrities are bad sexual partners?
I think you can definitely tell the people that care about their partner. And I feel like an older guy like Leo who fucks 19 to 25-year-olds, which I love Leo, but it's very weird.
It's super
I
cool.
don't want to dive into it too much because it's gonna hurt my heart. And my old ass heart, who is way too old for him anyways. But like
Us too. It's okay.
I mean, think about when you were that age, like, you know what I mean? Like, you thought you were so, like, sexually advanced or you're doing all this stuff for, like, your partners or whatever. And it's like, not really. Like, you're not very
Thoughts.
experienced. But, like, you know, I just don't think. And plus, too, who knows? I mean, there's also theory out there that he's not even into women, you know? These are just, like, his
What?
beards. So, and it's just, like, a thing for him.
I guess like my thing is like I
don't
have
think it's true.
I have a suspicion that like Chris Hemsworth cannot like doesn't fuck. Like it's just like you fuck Chris Hemsworth. You know what I mean? Because he's
Oh,
Chris
I don't
Hemsworth. That's like my thing. Is that's like it's like ever like I feel like there's a threshold where you're just like, look, I could be horrible, and you could tell all your friends about how horrible I am,
But who cares?
but you know that your friends would be next in line because I'm Chris Hemsworth. You know what I mean?
He's
So
also been married for a while.
No, I'm just saying that like it wouldn't be an issue.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, for me,
I
I
think-
think Chris Hemsworth is fucking you.
I think I think you move at their pace. Because
Yeah.
what's worse than like going to fuck like a celebrity and then like what would you do if the celebrity's just like, what are you doing? You know?
No, I know that's, but I'm saying that like if I'm like, hey, I was just wondering, like, it would be cool. Could you like do that to me? Like, I feel like most of them are like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
like going down
Like,
on
they're
you
very
or something.
selfish.
That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I
saying.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're
Okay.
selfish for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, probably
they just
most of
kinda,
them
like,
you're
just-
just banging it out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's probably no foreplay unless you're doing it to them.
But that is kind of the duality of man. Is like I would hurt my feelings that he didn't do that, but I do get to go home and still say, I fucked Chris Hemsworth. Like,
Okay, so on that note, I've had
no way.
oh, I wish. Oh, really? I would literally get that tattooed on my forehead if that happened. You can quote me on that, Chris Hemsworth. It will happen if you're ever divorced.
Chris Hemsworth. That's dope.
So I had this debate with my friends of like, you know, obviously there's different levels of celebrity. But where would you draw, like, where is the line for you of like, okay, I'm going to fuck them, not because I'm attracted to them, not because, you know, whatever, I've always been a fan, but it's like the story. Like, it's like, okay, I fucked like Martha Stewart. Like, obviously, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, or like, where's that line? Or like Snoop Dogg or
So
like
what you're saying
Flavor
is that
Flav,
if they,
like, you
if,
know what I mean?
if,
Like,
if she wasn't Martha Stewart, you couldn't pay me to do it. But because she's
yes.
okay.
So the story, like, it's like, okay, like, obviously, like, I'm not gonna fuck Flavor Flav. Like, I just, for me, that's where I draw the line. But like, maybe I would fuck like Willem Dafoe. I think I would fuck Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
I'd fuck Willem Dafoe.
He seems
He
scary.
looks like he knows shit.
Yeah, I think he knows some stuff.
I feel like I would definitely try to do a lot of things for the story. Like the first name that comes to mind without even thinking is Roseanne Barr.
See?
Like,
Perfect.
like if Roseanne wasn't Roseanne, would I do it? Of course not. But like because she's Roseanne, you know?
Oh, you're saying you would?
Yeah, I would.
So post Ambien.
I'm talking like she could have walked out. Did you hear about her most recent comedy special?
No, I don't.
It's
pay attention
horrible.
to her.
It's so horrible, and it's just like let's school these liberals, and yeah, one of those
It's the same
ones.
broken record shit. That's not funny.
Yeah, and
not
so
based in anything.
she's just like kids today with their gender, you know, and so it's like if she could have come off fresh from that stage, I would have totally done it just to go to the bar and tell Christian like you would not believe, but I would also draw the line at like Kate from John and Kate, you know what I mean? So there's like a
Okay.
threshold, you know what I mean?
So
like
the manager hair's not doing it for you.
no,
Okay.
my mom also had that hair for a long time.
That'll do it.
You know, like I don't know. Okay, what is your story bang, and then what is your like? I draw the line.
Story bang?
Yeah, for the story.
Oh, I don't know. Martha Stewart's kind of a good one.
He likes old ladies though.
And then too, who knows? Like her and Snoop Dogg are besties, so like maybe there's a chance to meet Snoop Dogg.
I get in the inner circle.
I mean, yeah, like
Damn.
that'd be pretty cool.
So then this begs the question, right? So who's your well? See, Willem Dafoe's cool. So it's like okay, like so.
I know it's hard. It's a hard question.
So like, would you hang out with Flava Flav to get into the inner circle? He doesn't really have an inner circle though. Like, does he still do shit?
I don't know.
I always have this fear that we're gonna talk about like D-list celebrities, like,
and then we could have had them on.
or they're gonna be like, I'm gonna show these motherfuckers because they have so nothing going on. They watch a podcast that gets like 50 views a week. You know what I mean? Like
Flavor Flav to me.
If you're watching this, I take it all back.
right.
Flavor Flav to me just like kind of emits like he's like a homeless person with money. You know what I mean?
I mean,
That's how I feel about Riff Raff.
Very sweaty
Yeah.
all the. Oh, Riff Raff, absolutely not.
What?
Oh, okay. So when I was in college,
You said that with the pit vipers on, bro? Come on.
Damn.
absolutely not.
Dang.
When I was in college, and he's like quite a bit older. I want to say he's in his 40s.
Oh yeah, I would
Definitely,
say 40s,
yeah.
50s.
At least 10 years older. So he was in his 30s, hanging out around like underage.
Oh,
Like, well, not underage, but like under 21 at the very least. There might have been underage
41.
kids there. Yes.
So
So like
he's-
when I was in college, so
that's a look, dude.
he was hanging out with people at ASU, like at like house parties and like just being the weird guy on the couch, just like stoned and drunk out of
Really?
his mind. Yes. It was so weird. I'd be like, who the fuck is that guy? And everyone's like, that's fucking Riff Raff, bro. And I'm like, he is a weirdo.
Yeah, it's nuts. That's definitely a look. I give him kudos though for keeping the
It's
pencil
still
thin
going
beard.
strong.
But that's definitely a child predator beard for sure. Like
yeah.
it's rough. But the grill, I gotta say, the shark grill. Oh, he keeps it 100 with that thing. But it's the combination of the dark skin and the popping blue eyes and the thin mustache and beard combo. I feel like everyone just has a weird uncle. If you're Italian, like someone has an uncle that looks like this.
This is the situation's uncle, actually.
What do you feel about Marky Mark?
If I didn't know like how he's like very kind of racist,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, looks wise, fuck yeah.
Are you a-
Marky Mark? I
Like,
mean,
are you a fan of? What if he was like, "We'll go on a date, but you have to go to church with me"? Would you do it?
Is it like a big, huge, long Catholic?
Are you aware?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
yeah,
Have
it
you seen
is.
how cool he's become when he found God? Check this out.
No.
Me, my brother in Christ,
Look who that is.
brother in life.
Mario
shit.
Lopez.
We're about to get into that church and stay prayed up.
Always.
We're going to the
Always.
fight. Wow, Jesus Christo.
Gotta build spiritual muscle as well.
Stay prayed up. God bless you.
God bless.
Amen, amen.
Why does he have an
do you-
accent with Mario Lopez, who is like,
What do you?
like,
Did that do it for you?
no.
So I have a huge obsession with Marky Mark right now. And I just can't. So he's been going off on Instagram. Like he's been doing a really dad thing.
Okay.
And he posts like every day. And this is essentially like the gist of
Last night, I went to the Las Vegas Knights game. I'm getting a lot of shit from a lot of people. Now, first and foremost, I love the Knights. But I'm a Bruins fan.
cool.
But I also love the Stars. And my favorite hockey player
Who's this
in
guy?
the NHL is my nephew, Max Domi. Okay? Don't get it twisted. At the end of the day, what I'm really rooting for, me and Richard finished this fucking workout strong. I've been in
Fuck
it for
yeah.
an hour. It's 5 a.m. I don't need all this other shit. I got enough shit. All right? I want everybody to win. Everybody to be happy. My
Super
son
cool.
sit down 3-0 to my brother Jimmy Buckets. I can't be mad. All right?
What the fuck is he
Still
saying?
wishing the Bruins were in.
So what if he was like, babe, hold the camera real quick.
Oh, you're all right.
And he's like, all right, guys, check it out. I'm here. It's 5 a.m. I'm with my boy. Got to do these sets. Yeah. Why do you think I've been working out every 6 days a week? It's because
That
I
could
watch.
be you.
That's
I
why.
like how
That
it's
could be
just
you.
5 a.m. mid workout. Who's like, I'm a Bruins fan.
My boys are down 0-3 to Jimmy Buckets. What are you saying?
It's so random. But like every day, this is the shit he posts. Like,
I know Easter's already passed, but you gotta stay prayed up every day. Stay prayed up, stay on the
is that a
hallowed.
children's book?
It's a Bible.
What a way to start the day. Already got the gym done. About to get our daily prayer time. God is good. Stay prayed up.
he's like, all right, babe, how'd that one look?
Stay prayed up. Do you think all of this? So when did the him being very religious start? After all the allegations of him being racist.
I don't
came
know.
out?
I'm pretty sure he's He's Boston, right? Or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Boston.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
Boston.
Super
Boston.
Catholic.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
he's Irish Catholic all the way through. Like
That's
he's
the
been
thing
like
that-
that his whole life.
I
in
don't
some way.
remember anything about Catholicism and Marky Mark. Like that was like my whole thing.
No.
I genuinely believe that he just discovered Instagram within the last like 2 years. Because I when I became obsessed with this, I scrolled like I was like, ain't no way. Like, and he now this is all he does. Like he literally posts like a divorced dad who's trying to show up his ex-wife by being like, you know what? I'm gonna stay super positive. So let me ask you this: he's a good-looking guy, right? He's you know, that's not on debate here,
Always
right?
has been.
But like he'll take you out to the dinners, he'll take you out to the parties,
Okay.
but you got to stay prayed up.
And I gotta like
You got to be
actually.
up 5 a.m. You got to go. You got to hit the gym. You got to hold the phone when he does his daily motivation. How's that?
Okay.
Because
I mean,
because here's the thing: would you do that for somebody that you just met, like on a date? You know what I mean? Exactly.
absolutely not.
But he's Marky Mark, so it's like
I mean, that's like the sacrifice you gotta do if you're gonna be a sugar baby, right? I think there's
Yeah.
okay, I guess there's that. That's another question of like the line that you would draw for like sugar baby. I feel like that's. I mean, I'm super not religious, so I feel like that'd be very hard for me to keep up.
Can I be real with you though? I don't think he cares.
I don't. I agree. I don't think it would be.
I don't think
like,
he would care how religious you are.
Yeah, let him lick your ass one time, and you're good. Like it's just.
Suck your dick, lick your ball, lick your ass, push up, blow up, hands up,
Yeah.
push up, put face up.
So
hands
all
up.
that, but then you also got to stay prayed up. Is that a deal breaker?
I will record my baby Marky Mark anytime he wants. I'll wake up looking like a fucking lion.
You like it though?
Sold.
All right. So how about this guy?
Hallo meine Lieben, ich wünsche euch einen guten Abend. Wir gehen jetzt was essen, der Billy und der Harald. Ja,
Oh, cute baby.
ich wünsche euch einen wunderschönen Abend. Macht's gut.
He looks like he's wearing a fur coat of his own dog. He's
He-
like very Cruella
It's
DeVille
a
right
very
now.
Cruella DeVille aesthetic, but
Oh,
I've also
man.
been obsessed with this person.
I mean, he's got swag.
Yeah, that's that. So
He's
it's-
rizzed up,
I think what
as
it
the
is
kids
for
would
me
say.
is it's the fit checks for me. Like it's I'm getting a lot of reels that are just these people who are just like, I mean, the lips and just how
Mm-hmm.
he looks so smooth.
He does look very smooth.
Is that a fake chest though? That chest looks fake.
Let me see. Go back a little bit.
Let's see. Let's watch it again.
I mean, he's all
Hallo,
plastic
meine
surgery up.
Lieben.
There's no way.
The
Ich
lips
wünsche
for
euch
sure.
einen guten Abend. Wir gehen jetzt was
He
essen,
does have
der Billy und der
A
Harald.
really pinched off cleavage.
Yeah.
Ich wünsche euch einen wunderschönen Abend. Macht's gut.
What is pinched off cleavage?
It's like it looks like he's like it looks
very
like he's
dis-
like mid.
Yeah, it looks like he's like mid push.
Okay.
You know
So
what I mean?
it's like it could be. It looks like it might be some implant, but or
I mean, his whole face is plastic surgery.
Now,
Not
how
just
do
the
you?
lip.
yeah.
So how do you feel about like a man who's had some work done?
I mean, it would depend.
Mickey Rourke.
Obviously, I mean, come on.
Is that the line?
Oh,
Did we find it?
man.
He's just the most like, like what do you call it? He's the most stung up face I've ever seen.
I know he's got very
Looks
like
like a lion now.
yeah, he's got very
Yeah.
perked lips. So like, okay, what if like on a first date,
If I saw this guy walk
no. Let's take it down just a little bit, and let's say definitely some lip filler, a little bit, not like that, but just a
On
little
a
bit of lip filler.
guy?
Yeah, and then what if he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then you notice he's just got a thick, juicy ham for an ass,
I do like a big butt.
but it's totally fake.
Oh, like I can like I can tell there's like the
Like you could see the seam. You could see a little corner
it's
there.
just like
yeah.
it just
Yeah.
shelves off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you're the kind of person that definitely like goes for, you know, you can have your like. I don't think a lot of your icks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't feel like a lot of your icks would be physical. They're more so mental.
Yeah.
So like, if you really do vibe with somebody, like you can kind of look past some things. But I know there's also some things physically that all of us were just like, I don't know, man. So that's my question: is that like if he checks all the you know, checks everything, but he's got a fake booty and he's got
He
lip
just
filler.
looks like an ant.
Yeah, and he's got and he's got lip filler that is enough to you can tell, but it's not overbearing. Is that a deal breaker?
I think it would really I feel like I maybe wouldn't get to the point of where like I'm gonna know him like personality wise and like things like that. Like if I don't think I could get over someone having a Kim Kardashian ass. I can barely get over that with like women, and then it's like so for like a man, I just like a naturally caked up dude. And even if you don't have cakes, that's fine too. Like you know what I mean? I just don't because I feel like with plastic surgery especially, is like a very slippery slope of like then you end up looking like that guy, right? Which whatever, if that's what you like and if that's like you don't do it for other people, right? You do it for yourself.
Of course.
But I don't know if I could get past that.
Okay.
Maybe some Botox, I think.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys get Botox.
See, my opinion of that guy, I was like, I honestly think everything works with him.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
just
that's his full aesthetic.
It's just the lips, honestly.
You know what I appreciate?
I feel like I totally like can see myself doing that one day.
That's gonna be Christian in
But
his 50s.
I can't just have the lips. That's my only thing. It's like that looks ridiculous.
I appreciate the confidence. Like I appreciate like he's matching.
Like he is him.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like that is 100% himself.
He looks like an anime character. Like
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So like okay. So
I do appreciate someone that is like 100% confident in themselves.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
like
yeah.
go for it, man.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck yeah. But that's not, I don't find that attractive personally.
okay.
I also have never had work done yet.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think it'd be hard for me to have like a guy that had like a lot more work done than me, unless he wants to pay for my work as well. Then I'd be like, cool, yeah, we'll go to the doctor together. That's like our anniversary.
You know what I
present.
love about 2023 is that everyone in our
matching facelifts.
everyone in our age group is now just officially on like this like we're so confident to just say tit for tat like kind of thing, or it's just like I'll put up with some shit if they're gonna put up with some shit on my end. Like if you're gonna do this and you're cool with me doing this, like we'll both just fucking hate it. but like we're on an even playing field. Like honestly, like that's like the fucking best. How do you feel about like muscles?
I like muscles, but okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't like have a type.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are always like, Kelsey, you're fucking all over the map. I'm like, I know. I don't know what it is. Like I
Have
like
a pretty
people with
crazy
muscles.
dating record just all over.
Yes, like I've dated like the skinny tall boy. Like I've dated like the guy like the athlete. Like I've dated the class clown. Like you know what I mean. I'm all over the place. So it's really hard for me. But to your point, like obviously you can sit there and just say like, oh, I think that guy's hot, or like, oh, I think that person's hot, and it's like okay. But for me, it's really, especially relationship wise, I have to get to know them. If you don't fucking make me laugh, like there's no way.
Yeah, I mean
There's
that's
no way.
pretty understandable.
I feel like that's most people.
Yeah.
Or at least they say that, but then they actually find a funny person. And they're like,
I think
you're
because
too funny. And you're like,
I think
"God
because
damn
of
it."
I think because of Christian, I have learned that like because I used to be that way too, where it's like, well, I don't want like I'm so tardy to this muscle mommy trend. And Christian has shown me so many, like, and I follow this girl and like a million shout outs to her name on Instagram is Lean Beef Patty.
Lean beef patty.
Lean-
That's a fucking.
Fuck.
Lean Beef Patty.
That is
and
an
I
excellent
honestly and once I discovered who she was, I genuinely started to really see like the real like she's insanely beautiful.
Oh, I think
and
she's on Twitter too.
Yeah, and she's insane. Like she's sculpted. And now, because I used to be like, well, I don't want a girl who's got more muscles than me. But then like I learned about her and I was like, you know what? I would make it work.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
She's really pretty.
Gorgeous. And
Yeah.
so I just blame Christian for that, for just my now
Damn you,
debaucherous.
Christian.
I know.
Put him on the slippery slide of.
Because I mean, that's unreal. You know what I
muscle
mean? I'm just
mommies.
like, that's insane. And that's cool. You know?
And it's like she's lean and she's muscular, but it's not crazy. Like you know what I mean? It's not like China from
Yeah.
the WWF or whatever.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Which I used to fucking love her, by the way. She was fucking great. But yeah, I think it's unfortunate that I've stopped working out now that having muscles is like a trend now, because I literally used to work out, lift every single day, played basketball growing up, even though I'm like 5'3". And so like all throughout college, the aesthetic was like the cocaine chic, like fucking like skinny fat type.
Paris Hilton.
Yeah, just the Paris Hilton, like never worked out a day in your life, like only eats cocaine all day, like, and has Cristal at night. So it's like unfortunate now that like I am definitely not in shape anymore, because I would have been all over that. Like, absolutely.
I'm starting to enjoy it. I mean, 'cause
It's fun.
Christian was always, he was always athletic throughout high school and stuff like that. I just let my body go to shit ever since high school. So it's like now getting back into it. It's definitely not a goal to just be like fucking insane. I just tell it with him all the time. I'm just like, I just want to be a strong boy. Like that's,
Strong boy.
yeah, I mean, that's
big
all.
boy.
But we were talking, you mentioned college. So for people who don't know, you do a lot of work with the Humane Society and you are featured on Channel 3 News.
I've featured on a few different things, but yes, we have a partnership with 3TV where I host Pets on Parade. So unless you're like 90 years old and was born in the Valley, you're not going to know what it is, because it airs 11:30 a.m. Saturday mornings, sandwiched between infomercials. And it's just like adorable, adoptable pets, like for 30 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like the cutest thing ever. And it gets a little crazy because, you know, sometimes pets decide to do a lot of fun
I was
things
gonna
on
ask,
camera.
like, so have there been situations where you're like, this is Henry, and Henry is like, and it's just
I mean,
like,
these are healing right now, but
Oh,
this is literally just from our last one. And then, yes, one time, I'm literally ending the show, and I'm like, yes, and don't forget, like, you know, we have adoption special for like adorable little ones like this. And it was like, I think it was an orange tabby, actually, speaking of. And like, as I'm ending the show, and it's like this adorable little kid, and it's like, chomp. And then it's like, you see me like just smiling through the pain.
you're a professional.
Yes.
And
yes.
what did you, if I can ask, what were you studying in college?
So my journey is all over the fucking place. I definitely did not study what I'm doing now. I wish I would have known what I wanted to do. But I ended up getting into ASU with a full ride, and I was like, I don't
Left
like.
herpes free, right?
I left herpes free as far as I know. I've never had a cold sore in my mouth or my vagina.
Fuck yeah.
All right, like knock on wood. Hopefully, I don't just jinx myself right now.
Yeah.
Watch, like as we're filming, it's gonna be like just slowly forming. I'm like, God damn it! How does this even happen? I didn't even know this was possible. No, so I was like, well, like, what do I want to do? And I was like, oh, the most general thing is business. So I studied business with a focus in communications, and then got a job at the Suns. And then,
That was another thing I wanted to talk about with, like, how did that happen? That seems like such a super important job. And when I think about someone getting it in college, I'm like, how does that happen? Like,
so I started as an intern in marketing partnerships. It was actually really funny. So I was a part of the SBA at ASU, which is the Sports Business Association, and they had posted a job for a parking lot attendant. And I was like, I want to work in sports. I just want to get my foot in the door. And so I applied for, like, I was going to apply for it, and I was talking to my grandma, and she was like, Kelsey, what the fuck are you doing? You're not going to be a parking lot attendant. Look for something else.
it's kind of like one of those ironic, funny, like things you see on Facebook where it's just like, we're looking for a parking lot attendant for the Suns, but your requirements, you have to be part of the SBA at ASU
do, like,
and
all these
a
different
4-year
things.
degree.
Yes, like exactly. And she was just like, Kelsey, like, look for something else. Okay, we'll figure it out. And so it was my last semester of college, and I found that this internship was posted. And so it turns out, like, I applied for it like at midnight, like that night, and I got a call the next day, and I was like the last candidate before they like shut it off. And then went through all these interviews, and then got it, and then so started marketing partnerships, worked my way into like public relations, community relations, and then by the time like that assistantship was like, it was like 6 months in, then they like created another coordinator job for public relations. So it was like for the Phoenix Mercury, Phoenix Suns, and a little bit for the arena. So I was there for about 5 years, but it was just a very like, it should not have happened. I have no idea still even how it happened. I was very fortunate to have caught someone's eye with, and like, you know, just was working all throughout college. And
Did you get to hang out with the team? Did you hang out with the team a lot?
So like for work, yes. Like our job was, so as a part of PR, like we had basketball comms, which was everything on the court. So stats, roster changes, injuries, things like that. And then everything for us was like everything off the court. So trying to tell these stories of these players like as a human, and, you know, telling the different stories about like the games and different angles, like some of our community relations events and things like that. So we would work together at events and things like that. But I definitely was like closer, obviously, to like the Mercury players for a myriad of reasons. First of all, like obviously I'm a woman in sports. Like I'm not ever going to try to have anyone ever be able to say anything, like anything remotely of like I'm doing something inappropriate with especially male players. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm sorry. Can I have like an example? Like,
so like a lot of our like male employees would like be like off partying like in Scottsdale with like Devin Booker, like, you know what I mean, like in a table with them, or like, you know, at least
when you're here just
even in
trying
the
to do a
same club.
good job, because you're worried that if you try to fuck off, people are gonna be like, this fucking woman is fucking off. Like,
if I would be like, honestly, like, so obviously at the time I was younger, like just graduated, so if I even heard that like a Suns player was even on his way, or like, or if like I saw like a Suns player, like even in the same club that I was at, I didn't go to Scottsdale a lot.
Yeah.
I was making $24,000 a year.
Yeah.
And it was I didn't go to Scottsdale a lot, but like I was like, no, like I'm not even gonna let anyone try to even say like, oh, Kelsey was at the same club as PJ Tucker, like, you know what I mean, or whatever. So I was very diligent about that. But like,
Good. I mean, that's great that
yeah.
you're keeping it professional. I mean,
Yeah.
even though you had zero intentions anyways, it does suck that
No.
those societal things you definitely have to like, I'm going to make sure nobody knows this. But I mean, really good for you.
Yeah.
I feel like it's unreal to see a basketball player in real life. Like there's a difference between like, I feel if you were the tallest, like the X amount, or if you're the X amount wide, like I feel like if I saw Devin Booker and I'd be like, wow, like you're really tall.
And he looks so tiny on screen because he's he's a PG. So like, of course, like, I mean, even Steve Nash. So he left right before I started because I got hired during the NBA lockout. And then that's right when he got traded to the Lakers. But he came back for his Ring of Honor ceremony, which we helped with. And so he's 6'4", I believe, 6'3", 6'4". So on TV,
He's still
on TV, he looks tiny because he's like surrounded by all these 6'5",
Which
7 foot tall
just
guys.
pisses us off,
Right?
because it's like I hate that I'm just under the threshold of 6 feet.
Okay,
and
you're right
like
there.
and those memes just hit me. So I'm usually pretty good about like my weight memes or like something like, or like, oh, you're in a podcast, white guy. But anytime
Wearing
I
Pit
see,
Vipers, no
I
less.
know, anytime I see those memes where it's like, it's like me and Christian. It's like there's a difference between being like, here's 6 foot, but here's 5'11". You know what I mean? Like it really. So like, when I was growing up, and so you had Sean Marion, Amari Stoudemire, Steve Nash. I got to meet Steve Nash, and again on TV, I was like, oh, he's just like me, but he's still I'm like, wow, like okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's insane. And that's where you met Tony.
That is where I met Tony.
From
Yes,
Scaedycast.
from Scaedycast. So for anyone who's not familiar, you gave us a very beautiful introduction. Thank you. But yeah, we met. He was doing like social stuff, and so we briefly crossed over during our time there. But yeah, it was pretty surreal. And, obviously anyone that follows the Suns, they're obviously doing a lot better now.
Right.
And Sarver's out, which is amazing. But when I went, legitimately, if we weren't the worst team in the league, we were definitely bottom 5.
Yeah.
The whole 5.5 years, or like whatever, 4.5, 5 years that I was there.
Yeah.
We legitimately could not give tickets away.
Really?
There was one time I will never forget. So it was Halloween. You know the block party that they used to have at Gilligan? It would be like Gilligan's and a few different places. We went to a block party. The line was really long to get in. Some of my friends work at the D-backs. Obviously, we worked at the Suns. So a couple of us, like, we put like our cards together, went up to the bouncer and was like, hey, like, if you let us, we have like 6 people or whatever, and like whatever, or if you at least let us cut the line, like not even just let us in for free or whatever, if they were charging, I can't remember. We're like, we'll give you tickets to whatever D-backs game you want, whatever Suns game you want, like you name it. Like, and he was like, no. Like, not even one team, but both teams. And we're like, God.
I was gonna
damn
say,
it.
like, me and Christian resonate with that though, because it's like I'm football and he's baseball. Like neither of us give a shit about basketball for that. I mean, like I'll support like but like I was just telling him, like we've been seeing like billboards of just like the Diamondbacks are kind of in the same position. It's like, you guys, $99, and you guys can just come to every Diamondbacks game, please. And
They probably play more games than that's like
we
$1
just want
a
to go.
game.
Yeah, we just want to go. We honestly just want to go to like, I don't sit at the top, but if I get to just drink beers and have a hot dog and just watch baseball, like that sounds like the dream.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt about basketball too. I don't know. You want to go to a basketball game?
No. I sure don't.
I would say, okay, so have you guys ever been to a Suns game?
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever been to a Mercury game?
What is that?
Phoenix Mercury, the WNBA? So,
Oh, definitely not.
okay, but I would say, I think
Wait,
that
hold on.
atmosphere.
Real quick. I'm sorry, just because I realized something. You know what? Go ahead.
No.
No. That's all right.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So they're called the Phoenix Mercury.
Mercury.
Why?
Like Suns. So Phoenix Suns, Phoenix Mercury. So just like a.
So Mercury is
I
like
guess.
the closest you can get to the sun.
I don't know.
That sounds offensive.
It's like you have the Suns, and then you have
It's
the
like,
Mercury.
Mercury is the closest you're gonna get to the sun. So
I
that
honestly.
sucks. Why not just like?
I mean, because Phoenix Mars doesn't sound good. Phoenix
sounds
Pluto.
sick.
And I feel like
The
Phoenix.
Phoenix Mars.
Call it the Phoenix Venus, bro.
No, see, that
Pussy
sounds
power. What
see,
the fuck? Like,
that's what I was gonna say. Is I don't think that's the right move, because it's like calling like the Rockettes. You know what I mean? Or like it's always like Ets. You know what I mean?
well,
like,
I'm not saying call it the Sunettes
no,
or
but
the
Mercurettes.
the Sunistas. No, I'm just saying because Mercury is the closest planet to the sun.
yeah.
So that sounds like
This
already
is-
their name is putting them like in a notch below. You know?
Should they be like the stars or like
No,
the moon?
I just think like the fact that it's
The Phoenix
I don't
Bigger
know, maybe
Suns.
I'm reading too deeply into it. Maybe I'm
the
reading
Phoenix
too.
Super Suns.
Yeah, the Phoenix Supernovas.
Honestly,
That
I don't know
sounds
where
cool.
Mercury came from. I mean, I think it's just they kept with the planet theme, and then it just I don't know. But if you've never seen their mascot, you should look up Scorch, because if you want to think of something offensive,
Oh yeah, let's see.
Oh god.
Scorch is like the most. I'll just let you.
What is that?
But look at its body.
It's very
Okay, so that is like the new one. They like
Okay.
rebranded
that one
it.
right there,
They like
the-
rebranded it to be like.
Why does it
fit.
have like a big old fupa?
Yes, and its dance would be like it would like hit it, and so it was like. Going,
Oh,
like,
so it, like,
around and,
gyrates up,
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I don't understand basketball mascots though, because it's also like, do you know why the Suns chose a monkey?
So, yes, there's
Or
like
gorilla.
there's this story where they were playing at the Veterans Coliseum. So before they had their own arena, and like when the NBA was like nothing, and they just had an expansion team to Phoenix, someone did like a telegram that ended up being like a gorilla, and that was delivered to like someone in the seats or something like that.
Okay.
Or like maybe one of the executives at the time. I'm not sure. And then the crowd like went crazy. So they're like, hey, do you want to come back like next week? And they kept on having them come back. And then that's how like it started. And then they just had like, so the Phoenix Suns have a gorilla now.
I just
very-
feel like with a lot of teams, because people are always saying like, oh, why don't you name your team something that's like an animal or like something that is a costume? But it's like, I don't agree with that either. Like, I think Denver Nuggets is perfect because of like the Gold Rush and stuff like that. But then when they're like, who's our mascot? And they're just like, an elephant. I don't fucking know. You know, I'm always just
a
like,
bear.
yeah, I'm like, it's like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I've just never. So when I see this, and I always saw like the Phoenix Suns, I was like, why a gorilla? Like, I was always.
Yeah, so that's their origin behind that. And supposedly this thing, we would always argue about what the fuck Scorch is. And it's like, supposedly it is an alien from planet Mercury.
Fuck you.
Right?
Fuck
Someone
you.
was like, oh, it's like a weird dog kangaroo hybrid.
Definitely, yeah, very marsupial.
I was
Yeah.
leaning dragon because
Okay, see, I could see a dragon.
that kind of leans for Scorch.
I would
right?
like to
mean,
imagine like teams like this, instead of coming up with something like, for example, like the Phoenix Suns, they should just have like a Fruit of the Loom guy with just like a like, remember like the Jimmy Dean sausage commercials where it's
Oh,
like the
yeah.
sun and he's like, yo, it's your breakfast. Like it should just be a guy with a big sun and he just walks around
naked
like
all day?
but his head's out, you know, but he's just like in his
Like
big
Barrel Boy or
yeah, pretty much. Like, but wow, what a mascot.
Yeah. But anyway, so regardless of their mascot, I would say that if you've never been to a Phoenix Mercury game, they're pretty cheap. And then also you can see some of the best basketball. Diana Taurasi is such a fucking goat. She's amazing. Obviously, Brittany Griner. We had Skylar Diggins. It's just the atmosphere too is so fun. Like, you know how like at a professional sports game, it's like it's not cool to cheer or whatever. And especially I feel like with the Suns, it's a very like bougie, like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like the who's who and like, you know what I mean? So people aren't really like into it. But like at a Mercury game, like the X Factor fucking going wild all the
yeah.
time. They're talking shit to the refs.
I want to know
they
who
got
I want to
cheers.
know who says that it's too cool to cheer at a sports event when
No, that makes sense. I honestly kind of get that vibe from basketball.
it definitely because
Especially for the Suns.
like I associate basketball definitely with like pop culture for sure. Like because I know that like for example, like I know that Jack Nicholson's been a Lakers season ticket holder like since the dawn of time. You know what I mean? So like I know that like there are some people who go like just for the status symbol of like, oh, I'm a Golden State Warriors season ticket holder, and people are gonna come to the show maybe because you know what I mean. But like when I took my dad and I had the pleasure, I bought him for his birthday last year Raiders tickets, but we went to Denver, Colorado to watch them play the Broncos.
Dang.
Who was just like, and we were, me and my roommates were just talking about this last night. Like, what is like your own personal ick that you know is like a thing that like people don't like about you? And one of mine
Being
was
a Raiders fan.
well, yes, but also just like how like obscene I take football rivalries. Like I don't fuck with the Chiefs and I don't fuck with the Broncos. Like both
Those are the two biggest Raiders
Yeah.
rivals?
Yes,
I
those are
feel
the-
like that's very random.
Yeah, well, they're in the same division. That's why. So it's like they're divisional rivals.
Okay.
But like we were there. I don't think I've ever spent. I think my 2 records of alcohol consumption, or at least spending, was the Tom Segura show, where me and Christian spent probably like a combined $200 on like, well, because you know comedy show drinks.
Yes, very
But
expensive.
On
all-
a 6-pack.
on a 6-pack, it was like
Dude.
I think it was like what $35 for like a bucket of beers.
Yeah, it was too much.
And but then
That's actually pretty cheap for a comedy show.
yeah, we were. So my dad, he's Mr. Fitness. He doesn't smoke, doesn't drink anymore. But every now and again, he drinks. And when he drinks now, he's like cool. Like he's just like a cool, not scary, not going to ruin family Thanksgiving, you know. And like so,
He draws the line.
but like me and my dad were just like on it, dude. We were like out there, Raider. You know, like we were a fucking menace. So
I mean,
like,
most Raiders
if you're
fans
gonna,
are.
yeah, if you're gonna come with us to a game, like I'll embarrass the shit out of
You
you.
gotta go. Like you're
Like,
going hard.
I don't know if you follow my personal Instagram, but the very first thing I did was send Christian videos of me literally just being a menace. Like where like people are walking and going to the bathroom and shit. And I just start recording them just Raiders. And people are just like, fuck you. And I'm just like, I love it. I live for it.
Dude. I mean, that, I think to me, that obviously, as long as you're not taking it over the line and like fucking stabbing someone in the parking lot or whatever, I think that's the most fun about being a sports fan or even just
100%.
being like a sports adjacent, like going to a game or whatever. Fucking just getting into it, rooting for your team, or just at least being in that atmosphere
100%.
of people that are like, yo, like I'm behind my team 100%. Like I don't give a shit that I'm in my rival's like backyard. I'm gonna cheer, which is so funny because I was just talking about it with my friends about like football, European football, and like soccer, where it's like they can't even have like you know. So I was talking to my friend. He's from England. He was talking about how it was so weird coming to the States and going to a game and like people are sitting like all intermingled with like different fandoms, right? So you could have a Raiders fan by a Broncos like in the same section.
Yeah.
For soccer / football, whatever,
Yeah.
however, like whatever
Football.
over there, football. You literally are in one section. It is like fenced off. There's like police there. You can't even walk the rest of the stadium. Like that is how like strict they are. They make you walk all the way around to this crazy entrance. Like you will get killed if you sit in another section.
People die at those
Oh
things.
yeah.
Like Green Street Hooligans is real. Like that's
Oh yeah.
not exaggerated.
Yeah, dude, it's the best thing. I'm sure it's the same for like baseball too. Like it doesn't matter the sport. Like you're always gonna have some loon. And the craziest fans I've ever seen in my life, weirdly, and I'll never understand why, is college anything.
Oh, that's so weird to me.
College
I don't
ball,
get it. I don't get it.
and you have some guy who probably never even went to fucking OSU
Or Alabama.
or you know what I mean. But you
Yes.
know that he's in his couch like at fucking like at a Nebraska game, like when they're playing at home and he's got his fucking Cornhusker gear on. Like I've never seen like my dad and I wear the jersey. I wear a jersey every Sunday during football season. But like I don't, except for our episodes, because I don't paint my face. But on our one episode we did, and I felt so stupid every time I think about our game day episode. I painted my face silver and black. We totally fucking lost. And then, like we lost, and then that episode came out, and I was like, I don't want to watch it. I'm
Never
fucking,
again.
Yeah. But I definitely am that person for sure. I don't know. I don't know. Do you get that passionate about sports?
It depends on how invested I am, like throughout the season. Like there'll be some like baseball seasons that I'll like watch and I'll get really into it. Like I
Who's
think
your team?
Angels.
Mike Trout. I know he's not there anymore, but
No, yeah, but yeah, love the Angels. And the Padres. I like the Padres.
okay.
Too.
Yeah,
I just can't get into baseball.
I like baseball because I like going with friends and I like a place like to have a beer. My only complaint with baseball is ironically like a good thing, like a no-hitter. I would be so pissed.
Oh yeah,
Like it's just two dudes playing catch for a game. Like I'd be fucking furious.
seriously. Or that like, or now that they have the pitch clock, it goes a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, like so I have friends that work for the D-backs. There was times they went like 17 innings or like
Yeah,
something
see.
insane, like hours and hours and hours, and I'm like, just
No way.
fucking end the game.
Yeah, no way.
Like, oh
There-
my god.
I'm also a firm believer that every sport should have a mercy rule. Like I'm a
Agreed.
firm believer that like even in basketball, if you're down 25 points in the fourth and it's like 2 minutes left, like you can call the game at 2 minutes. That's why I like how the fact like in football you just kneel. You know what I mean? You take a knee and it's just like we're gonna run out the last 45 seconds of this game because you know I'm gonna win. You know. But with baseball, yeah, like I've seen like World Series games where it does that and people are just gone, and I can't even imagine how much money they spend on those tickets. But if you're on the 14th inning, you got me fucked up. If you think I'm just sitting there and gonna watch my team take a beating.
No, because what? The only reason there would have to be a 14th
They'd be
inning
tied.
is if it's tied.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, dude, I'm staying the whole thing, dude. I'm gonna get fucked up. Trying to just, yeah,
$20 beers. I don't give a shit.
yeah, dude, I'm gonna be there until the end. I mean, most people leave by like the 7th inning, but like I'm gonna be there. Like if it's that close the whole time, I'm gonna be like, someone's gonna win, and it's gonna be us.
It better
That's
fucking
what
be
I'm
us.
saying. That's like the problem that I have with like what he said with football, where like, oh, you just run out the clock. You know, or like soccer, especially, you know, where they try to call fouls at every fucking turn, right? I'm like, I don't like when people use like
Gimmicks?
like gimmicks or loopholes. I'm sure it's done in baseball too in some aspects, but like I don't like when people use gimmicks or loopholes to like win a game. You know, I'm like, don't use like a foul as an excuse to run out the clock or to do this or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
And it just elongates the game.
Let's,
and there's, like,
Support the show. Patreon.com/BasementDwellerProductions. Thank you all so much for the support. And now more of the Basement Dwellers.
and we're back.
And we're back with our
We've ditched the pit vipers because they were hurting my face.
yeah. They no longer feel Sigma. I feel like my posture just got back to horrible, and I can't look Kelsey in the eye.
you can't. Don't do it.
We were talking about earlier. I forgot to play this, but I've been wanting to show you this for. I wanted to show him this for a while too. You're not a religious person. You weren't raised religious or anything like that.
I was raised by my grandma, who very Midwest, very religious.
Okay.
So yes, but I.
Was she a God don't make no junk kind of lady?
What does that mean?
Oh, it's just a euphemism that we've heard.
It's Jacob stealing a Tom Segura joke.
Yeah.
No, she was a teacher, so she's pretty accepting, but just very, very steadfast in like her Christian beliefs, I guess. But
I think
she was kind of
definitely not an eye-opening discovery here, but I've learned that people usually who are raised incredibly religious later in their life are just kind of like, I'm fucking over this because it was insane. But I found this and I'm dying to show you guys. So this is a game show where they have participants recite Bible verses.
What is this on? Like JoelOsteen.com?
I have no
like,
idea, and I'm so just check it out.
Memory passage talks about the sun and the rain.
Oh, children.
Louisa.
Matthew 5:43-48.
That's correct.
Nerd.
Check this out.
Dude, it's all kids.
Please recite it.
Matthew 5:43-48. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain
no
on
Christian
the
has
just
ever
and on the unjust.
like actually like
For if you
adhere to
love
that.
those who love you, what reward have you? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet your brethren only, what do you do more than others? Do not even the tax collectors do
This is
so?
long as fuck.
Therefore you shall be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect. Matthew 5:43-48.
And you gotta say it again?
Like a spelling bee, dude. That was all recited from memory, and I looked this up, and I started like watching this, and this isn't like an uncommon occurrence where they will just read pages after pages after pages. This girl 100% was like the school tattletale.
Oh, if she even goes to school, she's homeschooled with 20 other fucking kids.
100%,
Yeah, in the middle of Utah.
That's insane. Like, so when I look at that, I'm like, this. I don't think she's ever leaving the faith.
She's probably already a child bride somewhere, honestly, if she's in Missouri.
Nah, dude, she's a rebel. Look how much shoulder she's showing.
Oh.
I know, you think her dad after was just like, hey, Louisa.
She got that shit kicked out of her after that.
Louisa, hey, good job. But
tempting all the males in the audience, I see.
Mary Magdalene over here.
That is insane. Like, I knew people.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. And I knew kids in school that definitely, not to that caliber, but I remember hearing like straight up, like I'll never forget there was one kid and he wasn't like, he was just off. But like, that's what his family did. Like his family didn't have TV. He didn't have video games. He didn't, so like he definitely was like, we would talk about like, oh dude, did you watch like Avatar last night? And they're like, and he's like, oh, I don't know what that is, like stuff like that. But yeah, there'd be times where like straight up, like it felt like you were talking to a youth pastor or like, it's like, oh dude, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know. Like I got grounded the other day and he'd be like, well buddy, I believe in Leviticus 14:75.
That's how you get hit.
Yeah.
No.
Don't touch me. Don't talk about Leviticus. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, like I hope she's okay because I'm very worried about this girl now. Like I am very worried about her.
Look at that look in her eyes, dude.
She's broken. And
broken.
She's
gone.
Yeah. No,
she's gone.
You think when I look at like specific parts of this clip, like when I think like right there, she's looking right at her dad, who's like
just. Yeah. And there's just like nothing behind those eyes. Also, like, what do you think the prize was for that? Like, you think win like a lifetime supply of like Bibles or crosses,
A couple
or
free Hail Marys.
you get the trip to.
You get to watch an hour of Mormon television uninterrupted after school.
You get to sin freely for a summer.
Joseph Smith will visit you in your sleep.
It's just like I do feel bad. I do feel bad for sure. But like at the same time, like I feel like there are movies that I can recite almost like without even seeing the movie. You know what I mean? So I was like, is this no different? Like,
but that's like by choice that you're watching that movie over and over again. Like obviously for a lot of us growing up, like if you were raised a certain way or whatever, it's really not in your choice. And usually it's like hammered into you of like, and I think this is where, I mean, God, you can go down the rabbit hole, but especially like in American culture, I feel like it's very like our moral compass of what's right and wrong is set in Christianity, even though we're supposed to be like this melting pot or whatever. But that's where you have like, we don't have like sexual education. Like we don't have like all these different things that could actually benefit our society because it's like based in,
because she's staying prayed up. She's following
prayed up.
She's
bro.
following Marky Mark. I bet Marky Mark would be pretty proud of that.
He's like, prayed up, say hello to your mother for me.
Exactly. Yeah. Shout out Jesus Cristo. Got to do the Cristo, you know. I'm here with Mario Lopez, and she stays prayed
Who
up.
has no accent at all, and then all of a sudden, like Marky Mark has like an accent. You're like, what are you?
I love that video that
doing?
we watched with him because my favorite thing about it is that it definitely looks like he's like, "Hey Mario, I'm gonna do a video real quick. Can I have you step in?" And he's like, "Okay, hey everybody, God
He
bless."
showed less of him than he did of the random weirdo at the gym. Like the
Who,
guy
by the
was
way,
just
my
like
fa-
halfway
is-
in the shot the whole time.
He's just smiling and looking at him from one angle.
Like, get out of the shot.
Mario just kind of like,
Hey, it's me. I'm only doing this because he's famous also.
remember me?
Which, by the way, Mario Lopez does not age.
No.
Whatever he's doing, we need on it.
He's working on
because
E Network. I mean, I guess that's just the secret.
It's that adrenochrome.
What's that?
It's what rich people eat, and it comes from babies or something.
Like that episode of South Park where
Oh.
Christopher Reeves was like went into the stem cell
stem
thing.
cell,
Yeah.
Just cracking open stem cells.
Yeah, just eating like
Yeah,
fetuses.
it's definitely like. I mean, we're not crazy, right? I mean, like we were just talking about this on Scaedycast that like the government tried so hard to be like, hey guys, I know like we're doing a lot of shady shit, but like, hey, UFOs are real, and everyone's like, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Shit.
So it's like it's not even a secret anymore. It's like we're all gonna age, not like Keanu Reeves. You know what I mean? So it's like,
speak for yourself.
your family does age. It's
I'm
that
brown.
Yeah, it's that gorgeous
You're like,
Guatemalan.
yeah, I
Sorry
got that
for all you
melanin.
white people. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
It's a rough life, you know.
like
Stay away from the sun.
like the Japanese Italians just no aging, and then you hit 40 and it's poof, and it's just I'll look horrible.
You either look like you're 25 forever or you're 125 like one day. Like there's just no in between. But you know what? I would almost rather that because it's like, hey, at least you know I'm old. Okay, like I'm either gonna look young for a long time, enjoy my youth, and then once I'm old, just fucking take me out back.
Put me in the trash.
Put me somewhere.
I also wanted to talk about. It's been out for a while. You did a documentary.
Did yes.
I want to talk about that a little bit. Tell us about that.
Oh my goodness, yes. So one of my many side projects, Superhero Faces, we did a documentary called Geek and You Shall Find. It came out in 2019. We had 2 sold out showings at Phoenix Film Festival. We were able to interview Stan Lee, George R. Martin, Kevin Eastman. And basically what it is, it's kind of like an overview of the history of comic books and superheroes and real life applications of how they're making our world a better place, while talking to these creators and fans about their fandoms and what like inspired them, you know, how it helps them through everyday struggles. We highlight some nonprofits. There's one actually local right here called Comic Care that delivers, so they dress out, they cosplay as superheroes, and they deliver comic books to kids in long-term hospital care. So we also spoke to a therapist who uses superhero therapy to help people through PTSD and different things like that by helping them relate to certain characters. So it was definitely an incredible, crazy. I don't know how the hell it even happened, but yeah, we were able to get some pretty incredible stuff. So for anyone who would like to watch it, it is on a few different streaming platforms.
Are you going to say something, Christian?
nothing nice.
Please.
Please. I mean, what's up? What do you got, buddy?
We'll fight after this.
No,
But the
it's
cameras
okay.
are
It was
off.
just
All right,
funny.
it's fine.
It was funny because you mentioned how like they use superheroes to like relate to like people with PTSD. The first thing like I was like, Punisher. So I'm just imagine like you're like the things I've seen, just the Punisher. I've seen a lot of stuff, and he capitalized on it. He makes lots of money doing what he does.
Just kills people.
I was gonna say too.
Not to diminish what you do. I
Of
think that's
course.
awesome.
No,
and
it's
amazing.
fucking incredible, and that's why I
someone
want
might relate to the Punisher in a way.
Me.
a lot of fucking red-pilled white teenage boys. Definitely. Fucking, he's literally just like me. I want to meet these people who genuinely have had their life saved from comic books, because my thing was like, I think that's so cool. And I think it's like I grew up and it's like my dad was a big comic book nerd. My Uncle Art was a huge comic book nerd. And it's like I liked the superheroes and stuff like that. I was always Marvel kid. Spider-Man was, Hulk was my favorite. But like I've never met someone that was genuinely like, this comic XYZ got me either into the fandom because I relate to XYZ. I just see people just be like, why did they make a black Spider-Man? Like, and people just pop off. So it's like I genuinely I did watch a little bit. I haven't finished yet, but it is an incredible interview, and like the people that you met with is great. I have to ask though, like you're a super cool chick. I mean, it's just like do you deal with your let's say less desirable comic nerds as well, like for on the street interviews? Like, have you had someone you're like, we can't put this in the documentary?
I think it's definitely a conversation to be had. There's in every fandom, you kind of have the people that maybe don't act the best towards others, especially because in cosplay, women can be dressed like pretty provocatively depending on their character. So I think that opens up a whole nother conversation about like consent and being able to walk around freely. And I think that was like one of our biggest takeaways from Comic-Cons is that it was really such a safe space for so many people where they could channel their a different part of themselves, or being able to like feel like powerful or whatever from being dressed up as a character. One example was this guy who was from Vietnam, and he was in like a little Wonder Woman, like a homemade like Speedo type thing, and like the like headband and the wrist her like bracelets. And so we went up and talked to him, and during the interview he was like, I was so nervous like of wearing this. I've never worn anything like this before, but growing up, like I was in a community that didn't accept people like me. And so like I related to Wonder Woman, specifically Linda Carter. And then he's like, thank you for interviewing me. Like that makes me know that like I should be here, and like I'm accepted.
That's a good feeling.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But there's also like those people where it's like, I'm sure you guys know, if you have a camera out, the stupid fucking people behind, like you're just like, get out of the fucking shot. Or they're like, interview me. And it's like,
there's always a Deadpool just sexually harassing people.
One thing I've learned about doing this format and like being in this community is that you would be amazed at how many people will say what they say on a fucking microphone. It's so
there's
crazy.
so much blackmail stuff of me that I'm sure is like on a cutting room floor.
I was like, oh, what do you mean?
No, yeah, like literally. And it's so funny because like the people that will sit there and beg for you to like interview them, and you're like, okay, well maybe they might surprise you or whatever. The second you like open the thing, like, and you're like, okay, get the fuck out of here.
Well,
like we're trying to do something.
We've had a few of those.
Yeah.
Like, we went to an event and like we talked to a few people, and there were some really good interviews, but there were some people who looked so cool, and we were like, we got to talk to these people. And then like we went to go talk to them, and they were just like, yeah, it's really cool. We like coming to.
They open their mouth, and you're like, this person has never had to develop a personality or like say anything of substance in their life. Like, how did you get through life right now?
Yeah, like you're literally skin deep, bro. Like, come on.
Louis. Louis skin deep.
Literally.
Yeah, those guys. That's why I always like get nervous about like when I watch like on the street TikToks, because I'm just like, for every person you have on camera, like who did you not put on camera?
Oh,
you know what
man.
I mean?
Okay, I will never forget. Okay, so the way that this even started, like we didn't set out to make a documentary. Like we just were doing like man on the street type videos, like at Comic-Cons, just talking to people about who they're dressed up as, like if they're a part of an organization or whatever. And then my first interview ever was with this guy. So it was another organization that wasn't as big as Comic Hair, but they went and visited like children's hospital. He was dressed as Green Lantern. And, he was showing us his little thing, and like that you can put the ring on, and it was really cool. But like I asked him, I was like, hey, so like what's the reaction that children have like when you come into the room and like visit them? And he's like, they don't let me go to the hospitals because they don't know who I am.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I didn't go there, but we're just like, so why the fuck are you talking? Like, so what do you do? Like, and it was just like the weirdest thing. So like Brad and I, who's the Brad Giffey, he's the director of Geek News Divine and one of my best friends in the world. Like afterward, we were like, what the fuck? Like, we're not gonna be able to use any of that. And he was just like the worst interview. And it was my first interview. I had never done anything on camera before. Like I had started this and I was just like, was that me? Like, did I do that? And he was like, no, like, we got to keep going. And I was like, all right. But yeah, it was like, it kind of developed once we started asking people why, not just like who you dressed up as, like, how did you make this, whatever. It's like the typical stuff that people usually ask at Comic Cons.
Yeah.
But like these answers went so deep. And that's what like really inspired us to like take a deep dive into.
Yeah.
But even to, like you guys were saying, like, I'm just a casual fan of like superheroes and comic books and things like that. But I think even if you're not into comic books or superheroes, watching this, it like people have told us that it's helped inspire them to like follow their passion and like find ways that they can make it to like help others or like just at least like just trying, like, you know what I mean? So then that way you don't feel like, well, I never even gave it a shot and you have that regret. So we've had a lot of really positive feedback even in that way, which even if it helps one person, like awesome. But yeah, it's been a ride.
It's a tightrope for sure, because I definitely feel like you're gonna have people that are like that. It's like, you know, like my big thing is like Magic the Gathering, and in recent years there's been a huge marketing promotional campaign of just like outreach of just like come play the game. You know, so there's definitely like you know what, like you come up to local game stores, there's free decks for you to play. We'll teach you how to play, get involved in the community, you know, stuff like that. And that is super cool. I've seen tweets upon tweets, Reddit posts upon Reddit posts is like, I'm an ex-drug addict, or like, you know, I was an alcoholic, or like my wife and I were having problems, and then we rekindled this love for this game I used to play, and now we're awesome. But then at the same time, there are the worst people I have ever met in the world. And it's like with any of that kind of subculture, it's like we play Warhammer 40,000. Which the big meme of that is just the biggest gatekeepers of all time. So it's nice to see that there is a positive side to this. And this is the thing that I want everyone to understand, is that like it exists, you know what I mean? But it's a huge landmine or like a landfield.
I mean, it's just like with anything, right? Like, and especially too, because, you know, like you're saying, like things that used to be like geeky and you're a fucking nerd if you like it, there's been more acceptance of it, and it's become more like, you know, more a part of just general pop culture. So of course you're gonna have more people that maybe are casual fans, or like maybe don't get the lore, or like, you know, whatever it might be. Or they're just like pieces of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're saying, like, you know, oh, Miles Morales, like why is Spider-Man like African American? That person does not understand what Spider-Man is about.
Right.
Like, it is so surface level for them, and they're obviously just a fucking racist piece of shit. Like, so
that's like our thing though too, is that like we're smart enough to understand. Like our thing is like with Overwatch. Like Overwatch became a thing where it's like this person's gay, this person's non-binary, this person has special disability. It's like our thing is like, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't hate this character because they're gay. I hate them because they're fucking meta chasing pieces of shit. Like it's just like they're overpowered, and like, you know what I mean? It's like so that was like my whole thing, is like it should always be like a positive. Like I think with your friends you can kind of like, you know, like just kind of nudge each other and stuff like that. But just like to be a stranger, so you know what I mean? It's just a fucking shitty feeling. And we have friends that. I have this theory that Christian and I just have friends on Facebook that are just, we keep them on just to see what their reactions are, because we're just like, who
just
fucking
to get
cares?
The comments like going.
And again, it goes to just levels of nerdom, like the new Little Mermaid movie, or like when the new Aladdin came out. It's like, my guy, you're 35, 36. Like, who fucking cares at this point?
Literally. And like, I don't think representation and inclusion is ever a bad thing. I mean, we live in a society where everything is cis-het white male, usually. Like, you know what I mean? It just dominated by that. And obviously, like, as a cis-het female, I'm not much like further down from that. So it's like having these fictional worlds where, you know, it's opening that conversation. Like, so it's like a little bit removed, helps us to be like, hey, you know, like, I'm feeling a certain way about the Little Mermaid being played by a black woman. why do I feel that way? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think hopefully it opens up people's eyes to being like, why am I feeling this way? Like, should I, like, yeah, why the fuck do I care? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a fictional character. Mermaids aren't fucking real. I'm sorry to spoiler alert. Mermaids aren't real. And if they are, sorry, mermaids.
That's why I love Christian, because Christian's such a lore chaser. Like, Christian will go deep diving because, like, I'm a very surface level person. So it's like, but it has nothing to do with them, like, on a surface level. But Christian will write an essay for me as to, like, nah, this part is stupid, but not for the reasons that everyone thinks it is, but because of X, Y, Z. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool.
Like,
like, that's fine. I like listening to Christian's like my husband that I just like listen to him and I'm like, wow.
I like that.
This is wrong. And I can prove it mathematically.
You're like, according to Christian Hans Andersen, actually Little Mermaid is supposed to rip the shit out of everybody. And then also like if she has legs, like it hurts every time.
Yeah,
like
doesn't she like eat feet or something like that?
Something like, and it's like I'm pretty sure it's like she's in agonizing pain when she does have legs because that's like her punishment.
Yeah, and then she dies by turning into sea foam.
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's just how
Is that like the original tale?
Yeah. Like most Disney stories based off of like these horrific fairy tales.
The Grimm Brothers books, right?
Yes, exactly.
And they're fucking gnarly, man.
Really?
Like they should be like horror. Honestly, they should be horror.
Oh yeah.
Which actually that'd be really cool.
Like I think that was another thing with Cinderella too, wasn't it? Wasn't like a lot of people got their feet cut off or something?
Something like that crazy. But all of these have like these really wild, actual true origins, and Disney just Disneyfied it, which also is
of all the
racist.
stories to like make for kids, right? Like take the most gruesome German folk tales.
I like that Disney Plus now tells you like, hey, before you watch the Aristocats, I want to let you know that like there's some unsavory moments in this movie, and like that's my favorite Disney movie of all time.
Stop jerking off on camera.
I know, it's because I'm petting Thor. There are so many videos because I also shake my leg and stuff like that. And that you guys made that joke too on the fucking Scaedycast because I like shake my leg and you guys, what are you doing over there? Because it looks like I'm just like
he literally looked like he was fucking jacking off, and we're like, "Are you all right? What's happening?"
I'm sorry, but like I was thinking
whatever
about,
you need to do, just on your own time. Okay?
I was petting my doggy, and I was.
Is that what he calls it?
No. Oh, look, see, there's a little tail. It's right there. But
that did not look good.
No,
that also did not look good.
I was just like thinking, like, because
don't worry, I'm petting your kitty over here.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. I watched recently the Aristocats by myself at 28 because I just love that movie. And
Is Aristocats that bad?
No, there's just
I know
one.
like Lady in the Tramp.
So there's a cat part of the Alley Cats gang that is just very, very, very Asian eccentric because he's a Siamese cat.
So exactly like Lady in the Tramp.
Yeah,
Okay.
or like again, one of my favorite movies of all time is the original Dumbo movie. And
that's real bad.
those crows, man, were some of the coolest parts of that movie. And as I got older, I was like, oh no.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so it's like I think it's one of those things where it's just like don't feel bad because like you enjoy things from your childhood, but I think what do you know what I'm trying to say? Like it's
I think
just like
the fact that you recognize it's problematic is good.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's like the hard thing. So I don't know. I mean, my whole thing is that it's just like, you know what? I'm a firm believer too that it's not even your demographic. Like it's like, dude, like the new Disney movies aren't even made for you. Again, you're 38. Like go to work. Like
I'm the one with money. I'm gonna go pay to see Little Mermaid, and I'm gonna be mad that her eyes are too far apart. Okay.
So you just hate the way she looks.
No. I honestly don't care. I again going back to like I see why people get upset about it just because, you know, people don't like the world changing around them, you know?
Yeah, I
and
think
like,
that's what it is.
Oh, it's changing my childhood. She used to be white, you know, but you know what?
But you didn't think about that when you were a kid. That's my thing.
Yeah, like, oh,
I
this is a
like,
redhead.
I can't wait to watch Little Mermaid because she's a white girl. Thank God. Like I never said that. Like I never thought that.
Oh.
And I don't think that the people who are mad about it ever said that either. Like,
No, absolutely. They don't fucking know what they probably actually never even cared about Little Mermaid in the first place. Like, and two, I think being able to see all these videos of these young girls being able to look like, you know, on the TV and being like, what? Like she looks like me? Like that is so much like that's so much fucking better. And it makes me so fucking mad because like racist bigots are like have the loudest mouth, right? Like, and they're always amplified on social media because like everyone reacts to it. And like they have like this bigger voice in what is like the percentage of what our actual community is. I hope. no, there's like studies about that, but like yeah, I think what you guys are saying is it's causing them to have to like reflect and be like, okay, like I can't, like I'm not dominant in the world as much as like I used to be, and like they have to like
changing, and I'm
yeah,
afraid.
the world, yeah, I'm scared, and it's like, why the fuck are you like, get the fuck over it, like you're a fucking weirdo watching little kid movies.
White men don't rule the world anymore. I'm scared.
I don't know what to do anymore. So that's always just been my thing. Is like it's just like not one point in your life where you ever stoked on this particular thing. So why are you upset about it now? It's the same thing where it's just like there's a character in Apex Legends named Bloodhound, and it's just a confirmed non-binary person.
Nice.
The shitstorm. And I was just like,
you've never even heard of this game before this came
or
out.
you
Like,
just
shut
never
the fuck
cared.
up.
And then you have people that are just like, oh, I just don't feel like we need to acknowledge. I'm like, dude, if it makes people happy, just, you know what I mean?
Literally, it's not hurting you. Like, it's not hurting you. It's the same with like gay marriage and like all like and like just treating people like humans. Like, this is not hurting you. And then it's like they cause like all like this uproar about stuff that literally is not based in anything, but then actual like groomers or pedophiles or whatever they're trying to say, it's like they just sweep that under the rug, right? Like Matt Gaetz and like shit like that. It's like, oh, whatever. Like, well, that's whatever. Okay, so we talk about this actually. So we're making some docuseries like as follow-ups for Geeky Showtime. And that's like one thing that we like a part of like what we're going to talk about in the Star Wars / sci-fi one is that literally, so before, like when the new Star Wars came out where they had African-American characters and an Asian character, literally before the movie even came out, like there was like these like white supremacists like Reddits or, you know, Facebook groups or whatever. Like whatever. I don't know what the fuck they
so unreal,
yes,
dude.
like these groups, right? And they literally went to like IMDb and like YouTube and all these things and just like tanked the ratings before it even came out. Or like on the trailers, like they would just have like thousands of like down views.
Holy
like
shit.
all because like they had like people of
Because
like
of Finn? Like,
yeah, because of
Wow.
Finn. And like, and it's the crazy shit. But these like white supremacist people do that because they know like, oh, hey, like, well, executives, maybe they're going to change their mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like power, like the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right?
Right.
And it's just so fucked up. Like Target doing that shit of like taking stuff out of their store, like the Dodgers, for example, like they were going to have, you know, that LGBTQ group, like, and then everyone was like, oh, it's like some nun group or whatever that has been doing work since like the 70s, like great work in their community. And then all the fucking racist bigots, like, or whatever, homophobic bigots, like went into the thing. They're like, oh, they're not going to be in there anymore. And then like even more people like backlash because they're like, what the fuck? Either you support us or you don't. And then they brought him back in and it's like, oh my, like have a fucking stance. Like you're either for it or you're against it, but like you can't fucking waffle. And like obviously that's like a huge conversation during Pride Month, right? Of these all of a sudden like they just throw a flag on shit and then it's like cool, yeah, like oh now I support like yeah.
Which by the way, I've never seen one of my gay friends drink a Bud Light, for the record.
I love Bud Light.
I like Bud Light too. I'll drink whatever beer you put in front of me. But like I've never had a I am an out gay person. I will take one Bud Light draft, please. Never in my life. So it's just like, and the Walmart and Target like clothing options for Pride are also giving me a lot of life. Have you seen them?
No, are they cool?
Oh my God. So this is definitely how we should end the show. They're my favorite things of all time. So I
like
agree.
in a bad way.
They're hit or miss.
Okay.
Let's see.
I mean, I love me a good rainbow. Like I think like rainbows are just so fucking cool. Like and like the, you know, the different colors.
So like it's let's see if we could find a good one here. There was something that I saw in particular that was really good. Like and I really hope that I can find it. But there was a shower curtain that said "Live, Laugh, Lesbian."
Oh yes.
One of my favorites.
LLL.
Yeah, and like so, it's like it's funny because like you have pictures like this, like sure, whatever, trans people will always exist, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm genuinely hoping that I could find like I really hope that's I don't think that's a Target shirt, but that's hilarious. Pico de Gallo. You know what I mean?
Actually, I really like that.
Yeah, a lot of them are just so like, did you consult? I always think that people in marketing campaigns for Pride are like not gay at all.
No, absolutely not.
You know what I mean? So like I imagine this is some surly uncle.
It definitely reads a little out of touch.
Yeah. Like this looks like stuff like this definitely looks like it's like, okay, this tank top is going to be worn by a dad who's just really supportive.
Okay, I could like that.
Of like their non-binary kid, and they're just a normal kid, and he comes and he's just like, hey, what do you think? You know, like
cool dad.
Exactly. Like, so
I like it.
So it's like I look at a lot of these things
Better
and
than what you were wearing last Christmas.
like this is a cut from Target. gender fluid, you know? All right, coffee, you know?
Looks like pee, but that's fine. This is my pee cup, everybody. Don't use it.
This is also sold. I saw it on Amazon, but this is also sold at Target.
Nice.
I kind of like that, though.
I like that a lot. I would
Yeah.
rock that. Like, that's
Fuck
pretty
yeah.
sweet. You definitely look like a Batman villain, though, in my opinion.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You come sliding in on like a unicorn, like
I just like that corporations definitely look, or like they're like supportive parents. They're supportive parents that like don't get it,
yeah.
but they're trying to get it. You know what I mean?
It's
so if
just
you,
like like African like Black History Month.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a bunch of white people. Like, what should we do?
right?
It's like, well, let's not listen to the people in the actual community. Like,
Some stuff, by the way,
absolutely not.
Some stuff, by the way, like this. I
That's
love
pretty
it.
nice. Yeah.
I want this just unironically.
Yeah, I'd
That's
wear
a
that.
sick look, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Our roommate actually showed us that the other day, or showed me that the other day. Again, like just like dope shirt.
Oh, I love Katya.
Yeah, me too. You know what I mean? Incredible. But again, it's just like, I don't know. It's just so interesting. My thing is that it's just like, you know,
It's like almost there,
just
but not
busy
quite.
thinking about girls. Like, okay, you know, like, sure. Again, I think of it as like, okay, so I was hanging out with my niece the other day and she was watching this TV show, right? So hear me out. What if we do? You know what I mean? Like,
Lesbians.
just-
Everyone loves them.
like I just imagine like a guy just chain smoking cigarettes and having a cup of coffee, and he's just like, okay, what if we just put a T-shirt out that just says queer, 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 like. And then everyone they give him like a standing ovation. That guy probably got a promotion. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? But like a lot of my gay friends, like don't rock that.
No, that's no. And especially with like, I mean, obviously I don't want to speak for that community, but like for like, I just feel like I don't know. It's just so out of touch. It's just so out of touch.
Yeah. It's pretty, I don't know. There's some things that are.
Maybe people would wear that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But also too, okay, but speaking of Target and you know, all this craziness that's like happening with these stupid people going there. You know the lady that was the manager, and he's like, so do you support pride or whatever? And she's like, yeah. He's like, so you worship the devil? And she's like, I love the devil. Or like whatever. And she's like an actual manager. And he's like, so like you don't believe in God? She's like, no, I don't. And like so just like she's just like nonchalant, like on her phone, like telling him he has to leave, then like you know, like a security guy comes or like kicking him out. And the whole time she's just like fucking owning his ass. And I'm like, yes.
Hell yeah, dude.
There's this guy, I forget his name, and I'm really pissed because I know we're going to wrap it up here soon, but there's this guy, he's like Congress or he's like a councilman or something like that. And he just posted just a classic boomer white guy, just like there's a man, there's a woman kind of post on Facebook. And then the next day, he comes out and says that I am a trans biracial woman.
And everyone's like, yeah, hell yeah.
Well, no. So here's the thing: is of course people
congrats.
are like, no, you're doing this to be a dick. So his counter argument is like, no, like that's not how this works. Like I identify, just being a real douchebag about it. Like we know what you mean, right?
Yeah.
But I was thinking like, what would be cool is that if everyone just leaned into it.
I think people have. Like, I think I saw that people are like being like, yeah, like cool. Like, okay, she's a woman now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so they're like referring
We're
to
with her,
like, yeah,
and like we're gonna
exactly.
vote her into Congress.
Yes,
and I like to
exactly.
think about that because then I like to think about him because no boomer knows how to keep a joke running.
No.
You know what I mean? So he's like, you know what? I changed my mind and I'm not a man anymore. And then everyone has to just be like, no, you're not. Like, love yourself. And so it's like his fandom is just people who support the trans community, and it just fucks his life over forever. Like in his mind.
Honestly, it's probably good. I hope it gets him like not reelected.
Of course, but I'm just saying, it's just like he tried to do like that. Like I'm just gonna do this. I think if everyone just doubles down into it. By next episode, I want to talk about it. I'll find it because the guy is such a pompous douche about it. And he's just like, this is who I am. Can't say anything about it. And like I said, if everyone was just like, yes, like, let's do it. Like,
Slay
love
queen,
yeah.
let's
Like,
go.
and then I just want him to go home and be like, oh, fuck.
I fucked up.
Oh my gosh, Kelsey, it was so awesome to have you on.
Thank you guys so much. This is so much fun.
Where can, one more time, every Monday, new episodes of Scaedycast.
Yes.
They have their Patreon as well, where we host 2 special episodes, which is Gossip Grill and Sexy Cast. You could check those out. You have your documentary, and where can people find that one?
Yes, Geek and You Shall Find. You can go to geek.movie, but I mean, it's on Amazon. It's on a bunch of different streaming platforms, but you can visit that
And then
website.
if you have like a social media, where can people find you?
Yes, so at Kelsey Lee _D on Twitter and Instagram, and then Kelsey Lee Dickerson on Facebook.
Awesome.
Yes.
Christian, anything else?
No.
All right. One day, you know, I
Thank you
do that. I
guys.
do that every time. And one day, I'm waiting for him to look in the camera and be like, you know what? Here's my 45
I've got
minutes.
a lot of opinions about everything we talked about. Actually.
It's time for
30 more minutes, real quick.
Christian's
Double
review.
episode.
Thank you so very much, everyone, for tuning in. Patreon.com/Basement Dweller Productions. Support the show. We just sent out our second tasteful, elegant, beautiful penis drawing by Christian. It is going overseas. It's actually to Joey, who is in South Korea. Almost said North Korea again. And so thank you so much, Joey, for supporting the show. You rock. Anyone else, please, we have $5, $10, $15 tiers if you want to just, you know, be a homie and support. Other than that, follow us on all socials. We'll have the link tree posted below. And thank you again, Kelsey, so much. It was incredible. And we hope that everyone else has a good night. Goodbye.
Bye.
If you like what you heard, type it to their Instagram and Twitter. The information's right below with their email.
It's time you bit the bullet and started caring about something with all your heart and energy.
Be sure to log into the channel by subscribing and check out the previous episodes. But until then, we'll see you next week with a new one. We out for now.